Hello friends, I'm Professor John Gallagher and welcome to CircuitPython School, an introduction to CircuitPython for absolute beginners. In this lesson, I'll demonstrate how you can install or upgrade CircuitPython on a Circuit Playground board. The process is the same for the Bluefruit or Express, and I'll talk about how you can learn how to do this for other boards as well. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to check out the playlist where there are hundreds of lessons and scores of cool projects. So let's get started, maker. So to follow along, you'll need one of the hundreds of different types of boards that's capable of running CircuitPython. I'm going to demonstrate using a Circuit Playground Bluefruit board. The process is nearly identical for Circuit Playground Express. You'll also need a USB data cable for your board. Be sure to get a data cable. Some cables are charge only, but you need a data cable to transfer data from your computer to your board. And that's it. Now first, a quick word on how CircuitPython boards work. Boards like the Circuit Playground or Raspberry Pi Pico are microcontrollers. They don't have an operating system like full computers that run Mac or Windows do, but we're going to set up our microcontroller board with the latest file it needs to run CircuitPython programs. If you have a new board, these steps will put CircuitPython on the board, and if your board already has CircuitPython installed, these steps will make sure that you've upgraded to the latest version. So here's the scoop on installing and upgrading CircuitPython. When you've plugged a properly configured board into your computer, it'll show up with the name CircuitPy, all in caps. Now this happens regardless of the type of board you're using. But if you want to upgrade CircuitPython or install CircuitPython on a new board that doesn't already have it installed, you need to get the board into what's called Bootloader mode. Now when the board is in Bootloader mode, the name will change. It will no longer be CircuitPy, and then we can drag over the latest version of CircuitPython for our upgrade. Now we'll talk more about putting your board in Bootloader mode in a bit, but first, let's get the latest version of CircuitPython that's right for your board. So to do this, open a browser and head to circuitpython.org. Click Downloads. Scroll and find the board that we're using. For me, that's Circuit Playground Bluefruit, but if you're using a different board, like a Circuit Playground Express or a Raspberry Pi Pico series board, make sure you find and choose your board. There's also a search box at the top of this page that you can use to find your board. Since I have a Circuit Playground Bluefruit, I'm going to click that. It'll open a new page, then click on the Download UF2 button. Your browser is probably showing a number that's later than the one that's shown here. The open source team behind CircuitPython is always updating the language with new features and better stability, so just get the latest one listed. This will download a file with a .uf2 extension at the end, and this file will let us put CircuitPython on our board. Now do note that the .uf2 file is specific to the type of board that you're working with. If you use a different board in the future, for example later in the semester my students switch to using a Raspberry Pi Pico 2W board, then you'll want to make sure that you download the right UF2 file to use with that board. After clicking download, your browser might save this file to your downloads folder. I have my browser configured to ask where I want to save this, so I'm going to save mine to the desktop. And we just downloaded a .uf2 file that we'll use to put CircuitPython on the board. So now I'll minimize my browser. My UF2 file is saved to the desktop. You might need to open your downloads folder to find yours. And now let's set up your CPB to accept the .uf2 file that we just downloaded. To do this, plug your USB cable into your computer, then plug the micro USB end into your CPB, and it's very important to make sure that you're using a data cable. Many cables are charge only, so if for some reason your CPB doesn't show up in the desktop like I'm about to demonstrate, you might be using the wrong cable. Now if you're using a Circuit Playground board, you should see your board flash. Boards with NeoPixel lights will flash yellow first, and those with Bluetooth like the CPB will then flash blue even faster, just for about a second. I'll warn my students too that there may be some old code left on your board by previous students, so don't be startled if your board starts to do something, and if you bought a brand new board, you'll probably see this swirling rainbow pattern. Looks cool, but this is about to go away. Now when you plug your board in, you'll probably see it mounted on your desktop with the name CircuitPy, all in caps. Now there is a chance that you might see a different name in there, like CPLAYBOOT if you're using a Circuit Playground. If it shows up with a different name, don't worry, that means you're already in Bootloader mode. Bootloader mode is simply a special way for setting the board up so that it can be upgraded with the latest version of CircuitPython. It's going to have a different name other than CircuitPy, and regardless of whether or not your board was set up to run CircuitPython previously, we're going to put it into Bootloader mode now so that we can upgrade it with the latest version of CircuitPython. That's the UF2 file that we just downloaded. So to put a Circuit Playground board into Bootloader mode, just make sure that it's plugged into your computer. Double tap the reset button, that's the button right in the center of the CPB. Tap tap, just like that. You should see the device flash, then the circle of LEDs on the device will light up green, and you'll see a new device mounted on your computer, CPLAYBOOT for a Circuit Playground Express, CPLAYBOOT for a Circuit Playground Bluefruit. If you got a Pico, you need to do something different. For Picos, you hold down the boot cell button, then plug the USB cable into your computer. Then when it shows up, release boot cell. Now there are different procedures for getting into bootloader mode on other boards. You can search online for Adafruit Learn Guide and the name of your board. If Adafruit doesn't have a guide, search online for CircuitPython information for the board. There's probably something there, and AI should be able to help too. Now do not continue if your board still says CircuitPy. You never want to drag the UF2 file over if it says CircuitPy. That'll just put an extra file on your device and it'll take up extra space. And more importantly, it won't update CircuitPython. Now if your board is still showing up with the name CircuitPy, just retry the procedure to get your board in bootloader mode. If you've got a Circuit Playground board, that means just double tap the reset button, and when a Circuit Playground board is in bootloader mode, all the LED lights should light up in green. Now if you're using a Circuit Playground Bluefruit in the very rare case where you double tapped and your lights are showing in red rather than green, then you're likely using an older CPB that needs a little bit of TLC. I'll put a link in the description for more info on that case. But if your board is plugged into your computer and you're successfully in bootloader mode, for Circuit Playground boards that will be CPLAYBOOT or CPLAYBOOT, and all the lights are green, then drag the UF2 file that you just downloaded, that's the one that starts with Adafruit _CircuitPython Circuit Playground, and drop it into CPLAYBOOT. Now this file will copy over. When a board's plugged into a computer like this, it acts sort of like a thumb drive, and you can just drag files onto the board to copy them over. If you have a Mac, you might get this error stating that the operation can't be completed because some data can't be read or written. If you see that error, ignore it. It's not a problem. Just click OK. The CPLAYBOOT device will dismount from your computer, and you'll see a new device mounted on your computer named CircuitPy. Congratulations! You've just configured your board to run CircuitPython. And by the way, if you've got a board that you haven't used in a while and you're wondering what version of CircuitPython is on the board, just plug it in, open the CircuitPy volume when it mounts, then open up the boot_out.txt file, and you'll see the version that's installed and the date that version was created. Also, you don't need the UF2 file anymore. You can just throw that in the trash. So now that your board has CircuitPython on it, every time you plug your board into your computer, it should mount as CircuitPy, and that means it's ready to edit and run code. And pro tip, you should never see a UF2 file inside your board when it's in CircuitPy mode. If you see a UF2 in there, just delete it. It's just taking up space. So here's a quick recap of the steps to install or upgrade CircuitPython. You can use this as a crib sheet. Visit circuitpython.org, click on download, and find and download the UF2 file for your specific board. Then plug your board into your computer using a data cable. Put the board in bootloader mode. For a CPB, that involves just double tapping the reset button. If that works, you'll see a ring of solid green lights, and you'll see the board mounted on your computer with the name CPLAYBOOT. It'll be a different name if you have a different board. Then drag the UF2 file that you downloaded onto CPLAYBOOT. That will dismount, and the board will remount with the name CircuitPy, and you're now ready for CircuitPython work. I hope you found this lesson worthwhile, and if you did, let me know. Remember, I have hundreds of lessons and scores of cool projects on my channel.
I am Groot.
Come on back when you're ready to make something awesome.